me go ahead and show you how long it actually takes to tie one. I've got my braided line tied on there. Get this wrapped around my pinky. Build my little ball up here. Go up on the shank of the hook a little bit. Come back about 4 or 5 wraps. Give that a little super glue. Get me a little clump of my green goodness. 1, 2, 3 wraps. There's another clump for this other side. 1, 2, 3 wraps. And then another little clump on the back side. 1, 2, 3 wraps. Pull all those tight. Start wrapping towards the front of the hook. And it just slid off. Now we're just wrapping back towards the back of the hook now. Trying to get all the rest of that hair in there. Okay. We'll drop a super glue to help secure that braided line. At this point, I take it off of my finger. I tie a big half hitch. Go around. Tighten that up. Another big half hitch. Around. Tighten that up. This one needs a little bit of super glue where those knots are at because they slid up a little bit towards the front. Trim that off with my scissors. Take it out of the vise. Bring it over here so you can see me trim this down. And we start trimming right up next to the hook. And there we go. Pompano teaser. Done. Nice. Hey Rad Reelers, JC here with Radreeling Fishing. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I tie Pompano teasers at an affordable price. Oh yeah guys, let's go over the stuff that I use. We got some hair cutting scissors here. I got some number 3 hooks. This is a pack of 100 hooks. I get them on Amazon for like $10. We got some different colored flashing here. This is the shiny stuff that you see on the Pompano jig rigs. Yeah, you can get like an entire pack of a bunch of different colors for like $9 to $15. 15-pound test braided fishing line. I'm using this because this is the smallest line I had. If I had 10, I would be using 10. This little guy right here, this is a tool that I made for putting the braided line through. All it is, guys, it's just an end of a fishing rod. It's just a little piece. It's about 4 inches long. I threaded the braided line through. You'll see what I use that for. This little device right here, I made this 3/8" dowels. I just hot glued it on the back of a piece of construction paper. And I'm going to say that that gap right there is about 1 inch. You can make that as large as you want to. But once you see the method I'm using, you'll see how well that works. Wigs, guys. Look at that bright green color right there. Perfect for pompano. This entire wig right here cost me $20. That's enough to tie like 5,000 pompano flies, or probably more. Teasers, right? Let me show you the pink one. Big, long pink one. $15 for that one. And I bought this one a long time ago. This was a multicolored one. And I've tied a lot of pompano flies with this one. I kind of got it twisted up there. But you can see it's got the rainbow colors. I'm sure I spent like, $10, $15 on this one too. All right, now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let's start tying some flies. All right, so I already showed you I thread the braided line through this little device right here. And what I do is I just pull off a pretty good amount of braided line off of the spool. Just get it hanging out here loose. Makes it easy. Oh, we've also got some super glue. I use super glue pretty often when I'm tying these flies. So take the cap off the super glue. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a very small strand of this green. Just a bunch of hair here. Nice little strand. I'm going to take it all the way up to the top of the wig and cut that off with my hair cutting scissors. Get that out of the way. Oh yeah, the other thing that you need is a trash can nearby. All right guys, the next thing that I do, okay, is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of roll it, pinch it like that. I've got about an inch inside. I take and I just roll it like that. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get a piece that's about 3.5, 4 inches long, and I cut that off. And you want to keep that pinched because you want your ends to be square. This little device that I made right here, this is what I use this for. I take these and I just drop them right down on there. And what that does is it makes these easy to pick up because you've got that void. So I'm just going to continue cutting these. Get a bunch of them. That's what all that looks like right there. So also I've got a vise right here. It's a $20 fly tying vise. It works really well for an amateur like me. I'll put a link in the description area to a lot of this stuff, guys, that we're using here. And this pack of hooks, number 3 hooks. I think I pay like $10, 100 number 3 hooks. And these are good hooks, guys. I mean, these are not junk hooks. You can see they are nice and thick, sturdy, stout hooks. What I like about them, they've got the little sharp ridges on the back of them right there. It helps for when you're tying on the braided line. Whenever I'm getting ready to tie some teaser flies, get a few of them out there. Top view, we're going to slide this into the vise. We've got a little handle here on the vise. Take that and we just push that up and it locks the hook in place. I'm going to put a little drop of super glue on the hook right around where those barbs are at. I just leave the top off the super glue. Take the braided line, put it over the hook, and just tie an overhand knot. Pull it up around where those barbs are at. And I take and I wrap this line around 1, back 2, and then I tie that off. Now what I want to do is take this end of the fishing rod. I threaded that line through. I'm going to pull up to about 1/4 to 1/2 away from the hook. Then I'm going to take my pinky, and back here below the stick, I'm going to wrap this around my pinky 1, 2 times. That creates tension on the line. Next, we just start wrapping, line around. And what I want to do is I want to create a little ball. I want to create a little ball right there. That's going to help create the flare on the Pompano teaser. Wrap that around a few times. Once I get that ball done, then I come up towards the eye of the hook and I wrap maybe about 8 or 9 times, and you can see those wraps are just right next to each other. I don't quite go all the way to the end of the eye of the hook. And once I do that, I come back and I wrap back towards that little hump that I made, and I wrap back about 4 wraps. Once I get to that point, I'm able to just keep tension here with my hand. Okay, I always just keep this little rod in my hand and I'm able to keep tension on the braided line. Next thing I do, just take a little drop of this goodness, little super glue, put a little drop in both areas. What I want you guys to see here is that I am able to keep the tension on the line here, okay? And then I can get a hold of this exactly where I need to get a hold of it. Now we're just gonna place that on top, and we're gonna line it up to about where the end of the braided line stopped. And I want you to notice something. I've got about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of line right here. These first couple of loops are gonna be very loose. You just kind of pull them over very gently and loosely. And what that does, you're just trying to get that green hair position. And I'm actually wrapping the line back towards the hump, okay? I'm not wrapping towards the eye, I'm wrapping back in the opposite direction. Okay, so I've got my first piece on there. That's the piece that's placed on top. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a piece over here closest to me on my side. I'm gonna do the same thing, just get some slack in my line about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and I'm just gonna gently go over the top and pull that down tight. Now at this point I can pinch the hair right here, and I can go ahead and just pull down some good tension on that braided line. Now I'm going to do a third bunch of green hair. You guys notice my hand here, I have not had to let go of this tool yet. So now I'm going to bring this around over on this side, get some slack in the braid, gently go around this third piece 2, 3 times. I'm going to pull that up tight. Okay, now that I have all the hair on there, now I'm going to start wrapping towards the eye of the hook. And what's going to happen is this braided line is going to slip down off of that hump. So, tell you what, let's just go ahead and give a little drop of super glue. Never hurts anything. That'll help hold those first coils of braid. And I get super glue at the Dollar Tree for $1, right? So I'm going to start wrapping towards the eye of the hook. And the braided line is going to slide down all the way to the eye. And now once it does that, we're just going to start wrapping back towards where the hump was. And as we wrap, we try and keep those braided coils next to each other consecutively. And as we just continue to wrap like this, it covers up the hair. Okay. I'm going to give that guy a drop of super glue right there. Now at this point, I'm going to unravel the line from my pinky. I'm just going to tie a big half hitch right here. I'm just going to lay that over there, pull that up without getting my fingers in the super glue. Just lay that over there. Pull that tight. Cut that off with my scissors. And there we go. I'm going to take this guy out of the vise, grab it back here in the back so we don't get super glue on us. I've got that pinched right here at the back of the hook, and I'm just going to cut that excess off, and I'm going to cut it right along the edge of the hook. Just like that. And there we go, guys. We got a beautiful little Pompano teaser. And what happens is we end up with enough hair here that we can tie another Pompano teaser with it. Don't click off. I'm going to go ahead and tie up the rest of the teasers from that one clumped strand of green, just so you can see how many teasers you get out of just a little bit of hair off of that wig. So guys, Pompano teasers, when you buy these in the tackle shop, it's about $4 for like 3 or 4 of them, right? They're pretty expensive. That one strand that I pulled off of that $20 wig, all right, guys, I got a total of 6 Pompano teasers out of that one strand of hair. So guys, I've been tying Pompano teasers off and on for a couple of days. And the reason I'm tying so many of them is every time I go fishing, right? Spanish mackerel cut me off, huge ladyfish break the line, and I get hung up on pilings and rocks and structure, and I lose teasers. I mean, last time I went fishing, I promise you, I lost at least 10 to 15 teasers. I fished all day long, losing jigs and teasers. It's expensive. If I was to buy those, yeah, that's very expensive to have to keep buying teasers. Here's an orange one that I tied, got a little bit of flash on it. Here's some pink ones that I tied. I actually tied that pink one right there using a 6-pound test monofilament line, just messing around, but it's got a little flash on it. Got another pink one here that I tied that has some flash on it. Another pink one with some flash. I really like these orange ones. Yeah, they're pretty cool looking. I caught a couple pompano on the orange ones. So, all right guys, so that's it. You need a pair of scissors, a spool of your braided line you got laying around, cut you a little piece of a fishing rod, get you some hooks, some super glue, and if you have a drill with a base like this, alternatively, you can use this as a clamp to clamp your hook. It's a little bit tricky to do that. I actually made a video where I tied Pompano teasers using an electric drill. It works really fast doing it that way. Check out that video. I'll put a link here in this video. You guys can check that out. I do like the method where I'm using the vise that I purchased better. I just feel like I get a better quality teaser tied that way. I'll show you one that I tied with an electric drill. You can see how the front of the hair is sticking up right there. That's one that I tied with an electric drill. And yeah, the problem with that is that weeds and the seaweed and stuff gets caught on that hair when it's sticking up, as opposed to when you've got it pushed down, you know, with your braided line like that. You can see the difference. But these they both catch pompano, guys. They catch the heck out of pompano. You don't have to have no beautiful looking teaser for a pompano to hit it, right? He's not going to go up there and look at it and go, oh my gosh, this was not tied by a professional pompano teaser. All right, guys. Well, I had fun making this video. I hope that helps you out. A lot of people have been asking, hey, where do you get your teasers? And that's where I get them. You can get them in small tackle shops, and obviously you can order them online. All right, thumbs up are appreciated. Get out there and go fishing, man. Life is fun. Live it. See ya.